All right, so today we are going to talk about the three things. Well, there's probably hundreds of things, but the three top things I think keep most women from being happy. So here's the deal, beautiful people, all right? So here we go, women, yay, la 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 la. We're going on our live, we're told we can have everything. You guys have heard all this before, blah, blah, blah. You've probably even read that crazy book. What's it called? The Feminine Mistake. Very good. It's about not being financially dependent on men. Okay, we have all this stuff. Let's talk about what is actually going on. Now, most of you listening are entrepreneurs, right? You've started a business, you want to grow a business, you're really excited about that, or you realize you have some special talents and experience and expertise, right? My beautiful trifecta I talk about all the time. And you want to put those together to create a business so you can actually help people, right? And you probably started doing that by asking yourself, what problem do I solve? Beautiful question. That's what we want to go for. And then life starts happening. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about something first and foremost that's not going to blow your mind, but it's really, really important. And that is that women do not trust themselves. This is reason number one. It is not that we don't trust ourselves because we're idiots, or we don't trust ourselves because we always make the wrong decision. That's not what's going on here. What's going on here is that we have been trained from a very young age to doubt what we say, how we act, how we show up, and what we produce. And when I say trained, please remember, I don't believe that there's some big bad out there in the world that's telling us that we're a bunch of idiots. That's not what I believe, and yet. Much like last spring, the spring of 2020, we learned about systemic racism in a new way. At least I can say for me as a white woman, I learned about it in a new way. There were things going on I completely did not know and did not understand, right? And it's my responsibility to make sure I know and understand those things. So as we looked at systemic racism, I think one of the reasons that for me personally, I was like, oh my gosh, I got this. Yes, absolutely. That's what's going on. We are in a system that perpetuates these beliefs, these ideas. Because the reason I was able to get that concept so quickly and go, oh my gosh, yes, there's so much I haven't been paying attention to, right? Got it. Oh my God, we're on it. We're going to do this. Was because I always talk about something I didn't call systemic sexism before, but I've been talking about systemic sexism all this time. So the concept of us being trained inside of a system to view ourselves and the world a certain way made complete sense to me. And one of the ways that this happens for women, the systemic sexism that happens for us, is all the things I've talked to you guys about before, right? So we're talking about failing at fairness, right? That book I talk about, husband and wife team put together, and it was initially launched, oh, please forgive me, I might get some of these dates wrong, but it was launched in the 90s. Then they did it again. I want to say it was either 2010 or 2012. They redid the studies and found there was not much difference, right? So it's relevant, even though it's still, we feel like it should be old, right? Like this shouldn't be the way anymore, except I think it probably still is. And in that book, they talk about the studies they did about young girls and how often they raised their hands. And as they got older and older, they raised their hands less and less and less and less. And that is because boys are 10 times more likely than girls to be called on at the time of that study. Boys were rewarded for calling out, girls were punished. So we see this and we know, well, listen, the teachers aren't bad people. We love the teachers, of course not. And they're a product of the system, right? Just like us being fed images from cops forever, right? Or images on the news, like, oh, two crazy teenagers, right? Versus if they're one color, and then, oh, we have two miscreants. Oh, they're running, if they're a different color, right? Very different treatment inside of a system. And we watch this happen over and over and over and over. And pretty soon what we learn is, I can't trust me to speak out. I'm going to say the wrong thing. And what he has to say is more important. I shouldn't raise my hand because I'm not going to get called on anyway. And that starts to translate very soon into, why does my voice even matter? And we see that stem out into other aspects of business, right? I shouldn't make money for my talents. That's terrible. That's evil. That's bad. So that system we've been born into is one of the reasons we don't trust ourselves, because we've been trained not to. Now, you may say, oh my gosh, Sarah, I loved my academic experience. It was wonderful. I always got called on. It was so great. That's awesome. And that may very well be true. And that might absolutely be your experience. That's wonderful. And you probably saw other things. There's a reason we have terms like mansplaining, right? One of my favorite phrases to say in corporate America consistently was, I'm so sorry to be talking while you're interrupting. Let me talk about that for a second, right? Like, there's a reason we have these terms and these ideas. Another favorite is when you say something in a meeting and 5 minutes later a man says it and everybody acts like it's the first time somebody said it, right? Love it. Not, right? Those are the things I'm talking about. And we're fed that constantly, just like we were fed racism constantly without realizing it. Oh, and then told, by the way, if you're racist, that's the worst thing you can be. So now you can't see it. See how the system perpetuates itself? It's the same for women. Go out there. You can have it all. Be everything, but we're not going to pay you as much. We're not going to listen to you. We're going to talk over you. And by the way, what you say, nobody listens to. Okay. Right? The system perpetuates itself. Can you see that? So here you are, a beautiful, extraordinary woman watching this video going, what the hell? What do you mean? What keeps women from being happy? I'm happy, damn it. I want to be happy, right? So you're like, Sarah, what are you talking about? Do you trust yourself? And this can show up, you guys, I'm going to get a little dark for just a sec. I'm so sorry. But this can show up in really awful ways. There are women who've been raped who say, I didn't want to be rude. I was scared of him. I knew I should run, but I didn't want to be rude. This wasn't trusted. This gets to step number 2, by the way, the second thing that keeps us from being happy. Not only was this not trusted, but what it looked like to other people mattered more than what your intuition and heart and soul are screaming at you. You won't listen to that for fear of what it might look like out there. Make sense? Yeah, you can start to see, holy crap, do I trust myself? Do I trust myself? And you guys, I'll be honest with you, this is what I've personally been grappling with as I come to you and say, I hate my industry right now. I don't want to look like that. I don't want to be like that. My insides are screaming at me. Do not coach like that. Do not sell like that. Do not make offers like that. And finally, it came to such a fever pitch in January that I had to come out and say, I hate my industry right now. And here's why. And I'm not going to participate in it. And here's what you can count on me for. So I want you guys to know I deal with this too. I'm not like some perfect magical coach coming in going, well, I never struggle with this. Not at all. Like, hi, if you're breathing and you're a woman, you're struggling with this. Because we've been taught that what it looks like matters so much more than what's actually happening. Okay? So that perpetuates the self-doubt. And this idea that what it looks like matters more than what's actually happening is actually reason number 2 that more women are not happy. Okay? That women sabotage themselves from being truly happy. And this analogy I really love is like, how many women do you know, like legit, how many women do you know have these beautiful, maybe let's say $200 jeans on the outside? They might have the like, the red soled shoes, you know what I'm saying? They got the beautiful bags. They might have gorgeous jewelry. And yet their underwear is held together by safety pins. Let me just ask you, what freaking message does that send to you as a woman who might do something like that? Or your bra's totally like ripped and torn and maybe stained and then, whatever. Nobody sees them. You see them. And I love to use this example because you guys, it really helps us see what is going on here. And yes, I just said you guys, because you're my guys, and I have 5 brothers. Okay, so sometimes I'm going to say you guys, I hope you can forgive me, because here I'm talking about women's issue, and I just called you all guys. Can we get over it? Do we think we can handle it? Okay, good. All right, so in this idea that how many of us, right, myself included, I was doing it in the industry. I hated it, but it looked right. That's what I'm supposed to go do. I'm supposed to have an open cart and a closed cart. I don't want a freaking open cart and closed heart. How many house painters do you know go, well, I'll paint your house until Tuesday, and then I won't paint it until next year? What? Right? If you don't come get this fresh baked bread, I'm never going to make it again, said the baker. Never. Well, I'll fix your shoes until Wednesday. And then it's gone forever. What the hell is that? It's so weird and I hated it so much. So I stopped doing it. Because in here, what the hell is that? And my intuition, My passion for you guys to help you make more money was screaming at me, stop the nonsense. So I stopped the nonsense. But it's hard. And it's why more women aren't happier, especially those women in business, right? Because there's so much going on out there that we're supposed to keep up. You're supposed to have the Instagram. You're supposed to do all the stories. You're supposed to do the reels. Oh, dear God, the reels. If I see one more middle-aged woman, you guys stop. Stop. Unless you love to dance. Like if that internally comes out of you and it makes you so happy. One of the looks on most people's faces, you're not digging this. This is not fun for you. You're like, and your fingers always getting covered. It's just be awesome. You have been given your gifts. You have been given your interests, your loves, your ideas, your passions, the things you're attracted to, the things you do without getting paid. You have been gifted those. And you're pooping all over them to try to be like Susie What's-Her-Face in the middle of Instagram. Or Joe Schmo over there, who's like a millionaire white male. What are you doing? Be you. And honestly, in my industry, that's become sort of cliche. Oh, be you. No one can be you. You're your own brand. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. What do your friends call you for at 11 o'clock at night or 3 in the morning? What do people count on you for? How do you show up in your community? What would you do for free over and over and over? Do you even know? Or are you so busy trying to make it look good on the outside that you don't even know? That is not the path to happiness. You might make a couple bucks, but you're going to feel like crap while you do it. Everyone else really is taken. And right now they're all looking the same, aren't they? They're all looking the same. Stop. You don't need to do this anymore. You really, truly do not need to do this anymore. Be you. We're all waiting for you anyway. So it's reason number 2. More women aren't happier right now. The third reason more women aren't happier is they're setting goals they think they're supposed to set. They're not actually setting goals that matter. And I actually was just going through this with my monthly students in our monthly call. We were having our monthly workshop together. And one of our really brave students was just like, I had achieved I've reached all these goals. She came on the stage with me, right, in our workshop, our virtual workshop. And we were talking and she said, I hit this goal, this goal, this goal, this goal. And then I just collapsed. I got sick, not COVID sick, just regular sick. She's like, I got sick. I needed to be alone. I slept forever. I was totally unhappy and I was totally wiped out. And then we kind of got to it and she's actually experiencing what she called, I loved this, you guys, totally, we have to talk about this, an expectation hangover, right? She thought, there's kind of 2 expectations, right? One is that she thought by getting all that stuff done, she would feel a certain way. Right? And this is the issue, right? We set goals we think we're supposed to set externally, right? I'm supposed to have the big house. I'm supposed to get the bags. I'm supposed to get the shoes. I'm supposed to have the big party. Whatever, right? Like that sort of stuff. And you never stop to ask why. Why are those the goals? Because a white man said those should be the goals? You guys, we're breaking up the freaking patriarchy. That's not going to work right now. But you're going after the things that the rich white guy told you you're supposed to go after? Okay. Let me know how that goes. Chances are you're going to sound like my student, right? Yeah, she was so generous to share that. I was so moved by that. I thought it was so great. But then there's the other expectation hangover, right? We need to talk about this as well, where she was like, I thought I would be here by now, and I'm here. And that gap in between the expectation and the reality is painful. Now, listen, here's the thing. If you've set a goal that you internally want, right? That you want for you, that you would seek if nobody else knew you achieved it. That goal, you know what I'm talking about? Not like I hit 6 figures. I don't know why that's a thing, by the way. I don't know what that is. But it's like, what's the goal for? Is it for you? Or is it for you to be able to post about it and look good? Here's the thing. When that goal is about you, when that goal is set because it's going to move your life forward. And it could be, I want to help, for me, it could be, I want to help 100 women launch businesses. That could be an actual goal for me. But no one externally is going to know that. I'm going to know it. And why am I setting it? Because I believe that's what I'm here to do. I believe I'm here to help more women get more money in their hands, because boy, do we need women running the show right now. Yeah. And we can't do that without money, unfortunately. It's just the way things are set up right now. So let's go get more money. Awesome. Do it. Go. But that's internal, right? And for me, it's also internal, because I cannot understand how in the wealthiest nation in the world, people have to stay in jobs they hate because of health insurance. That makes me blood boiling, crazy mad. I don't understand in this world of plenty, and if you've ever gone to an amusement park and looked in garbage cans, this world of plenty, how much food is in those garbage cans that children are hungry in this country. I don't understand. That's why I want more money in the hands of more women. That's why I do what I do. That's why I teach women to build businesses outside of this, again, patriarchal, messed up system called corporations. I don't even know what that is. That was built in the Mad Men area when we were, getting drunk at 4 and sleeping with secretaries. Like, what the hell? And we're all supposed to go do that, and we wonder why it doesn't work for women and minorities? Really? Are we going to wonder about that anymore? Or are we going to break that up? That's why that goal matters to me. Because that directly affects the lives of other people, but it's not about me posting something on Instagram. Does that make sense? Yeah, is that going in? You're starting to feel that? Okay, good. Because I want you to understand that you won't have an expectation hangover if your internal goal, right, is here and you're here. Do you know what you have instead? Excitement. You have challenge. You have drive. You have heart. You have, oh, damn, there's a gap. Let's go. That is a totally different feeling from, I am such a loser. I don't know why I thought I could do this. I don't know who the hell I think I am. That sort of self-talk comes from setting a goal that you think you were supposed to set. Setting a goal that comes from external factors. Setting a goal that's out there to drive you back in your hole of self-doubt and of looking good for everybody else while you die inside slowly. That landed, didn't it? Yeah, that went in. I felt it. Let's go. Come on. All right. So my beautiful women, to wrap up today's Coffee with Coach, let me tell you, there are 3 reasons that more women are not happier in this world right now. There are 3 reasons that women stop their own happiness. 1 is they don't trust themselves. 2, they care more about what things look like, I don't want to be rude, than how they're feeling. Run, this man is dangerous. And number 3, you set goals, you, women, we, it, they, all of us, right? We set goals we think we're supposed to set, not ones that actually matter to us. And here's the cool part. When you set a goal that matters to you, when you're all challenged and fired up to get it, when you achieve it, it's actually exciting. It's not a letdown. That's how you know the difference. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great week. Love you. Bye.